My child, I need to talk to you about something that has been suffocating your soul. You wake up every morning chasing survival. The alarm screams, your feet hit the floor, and before you have even opened your eyes fully, the weight is already on your chest. The bills, the debt, the rent, the groceries, the unexpected expense that you did not see coming. The numbers that never seem to add up, no matter how many hours you work or how much you sacrifice. You run, you labor, you push, you strive. You tell yourself that if you just work a little harder, stay a little later, sacrifice a little more, then maybe, finally, things will get better. But no matter how hard you labor, those chains of lack remain tight around your ankles. You cannot seem to get ahead. Every time you take a step forward, something pulls you 2 steps back. The money comes, but it flows out just as fast, sometimes faster. You look at your bank account and wonder where it all went. You look at your life and wonder why everyone else seems to be thriving while you are just surviving. You believe this is merely a financial struggle, a problem of numbers and budgets and interest rates. You think that if you just had a better job, a better education, a better opportunity, then everything would be fine. But I'm telling you the truth. This is not a financial struggle. This is a spiritual misalignment. You have been trying to solve a spiritual problem with natural solutions. You have been trying to fill a spiritual void with natural resources. You have been trying to break spiritual chains with natural strength. And it has not worked. Not because you're not trying hard enough, but because you are fighting the wrong battle. The poverty you experience is not a lack of effort. It is a lack of connection to the source. You have been trying to generate abundance from your own labor, your own wisdom, your own strength. But you were never designed to be the source. You were designed to be a conduit. The river does not worry about running dry because it is connected to the spring. The branch does not struggle to produce fruit because it is connected to the vine. You have been trying to be the spring. You have been trying to be the vine. And you are exhausted, not because you are weak, but because you're doing something you were never meant to do. I am the source. I am a spring that never runs dry. I am a vine that gives life to every branch. And until you reconnect to me, not religiously, but truly, you will continue to run on empty, no matter how hard you work. You have been living in the illusion of never enough. The lie that says there is not enough to go around. That if someone else gets something, it means less for you. That you have to fight, claw, and scramble for every scrap because the world is a desert and you are just trying to survive. That lie is from the enemy, and it is killing you slowly. Because when you believe there is not enough, you act from scarcity. You hoard, you grasp, you fear. You cannot give freely because you are terrified of losing what little you have. You cannot receive freely because you do not believe you deserve it. You cannot rest because you're convinced that if you stop striving, everything will collapse. My child, you wake up every morning chasing survival. Yet no matter how hard you labor, those chains of lack remain tight around your ankles. You believe this is merely a financial struggle, but I tell you, it is a spiritual misalignment. If you're ready to shatter the cycle of chronic scarcity once and for all, if you are ready to stop surviving and start thriving, then join this fold. Subscribe now. Let me use these words as a lighthouse to guide you out of the fog of constant pursuit and back into the abundance I have already prepared for you. The abundance is already there. It has always been there. You just cannot see it because you are looking through the lens of lack. Subscribe now. Let me change your lens. Now I need to take you deeper. I need to show you the hidden roots of the financial blockage in your life. You have been looking at the surface, the numbers, the bills, the income, the expenses. You have been trying to fix the visible symptoms. But the root is invisible. The root is buried deep in your heart, in your history, in the places you have tried to forget. The root is fear, not the fear of spiders or heights or darkness. A deeper fear, the fear that you are not enough, the fear that you will be abandoned if you fail, The fear that you are one missed paycheck away from disaster. The fear that there is not enough and there never will be. This fear did not appear overnight. It was planted in you by words spoken over you when you were young, by experiences that taught you that money is scarce, by generations of poverty thinking that were passed down like a cursed inheritance. You will never amount to anything. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. People like us don't get rich. You have to hold on to everything you get because no one is going to help you. Do you recognize those voices? They are still playing in your head, a loop of lack that runs constantly in the background of your life, shaping every decision you make about money. And then there is the shame, the deep, gnawing sense of unworthiness that whispers, "You do not deserve abundance. Who do you think you are to ask for more? You have made too many mistakes. You are not good enough. You are not pure enough. You are not faithful enough." So you push abundance away, not consciously, but your unworthiness acts like a force field, repelling the very blessings you are praying for. You ask me for provision, but your heart says, "I don't deserve it." And the contradiction blocks the flow. I see the anxiety that plagues you even when you have. When the money is in the bank, when the bills are paid, when there is food in the fridge, you still cannot rest. Because the fear is not about what is. It is about what might be. What if I lose it? What if it runs out? What if something happens? So you hoard. You clutch. You cannot enjoy what you have because you are too afraid of losing it. And hoarding, holding on so tightly that nothing can come in or out, is just as much a symptom of poverty thinking as desperate spending. And then there is the desperation when you lose. When the money runs out, when the unexpected expense hits, when the numbers do not add up, you panic. You scramble. You make decisions from fear rather than faith. You reach for quick fixes, risky schemes, anything that promises relief. Fear on the way in. Fear on the way out. Fear in the having. Fear in the losing. Fear at every turn. This is the spiritual root of your financial blockage. Not your job, not your education, not your opportunities, not your luck. Fear. So many of you cry out to me, "Why is it that no matter how much I sow, the harvest never stays?" You plant seeds. You give, you work, you sacrifice, but the fruit seems to rot in your hands. The money comes, but it does not stay. The blessing arrives, but it slips through your fingers. It is because your hands are still gripping onto fear. You cannot hold a blessing and fear at the same time. One pushes the other out. And if fear is the stronger force, the blessing will not stay. Take a moment right now. Be still. Breathe. I want you to do something. I want you to make a declaration, an act of rebellion against the spirit of poverty that has held you captive. Go to the comments. Type these words. "I release all fear of lack." Do not just type it. Declare it. Say it out loud as you type it. Let your fingers be the physical agents of your spiritual rebellion. I release all fear of lack. When you type those words, you are not leaving a comment. You are cutting a cord. You are breaking a generational chain. You're telling the enemy that his weapon of fear no longer works on you. Type it now. I release all fear of lack. Let this be your first act of rebellion against the spirit of poverty. Now I need to re-educate your mind about the nature of resources, because you have been operating under a flawed understanding, and that flaw has been costing you everything. You have been taught that money is a thing to be acquired, a goal to be reached, a trophy to be won. You chase it, you fight for it, you sacrifice for it, believing that when you finally have enough, you will be happy, safe, and secure. But I'm telling you the truth. Money is not a goal. Money is a tool. Money is not the destination. Money is fuel for the journey. When you make money the goal, you will never have enough. Because the nature of a goal is that it moves when you approach it. You reach one level of income, and suddenly you need more. You pay off one debt, and another appears. You achieve one financial milestone, and suddenly there's a new one that feels just as urgent. This is not because I'm moving the goalpost. This is because you're trying to fill a spiritual void with natural resources. And natural resources can never fill a spiritual void. You could have $1 million and you would still feel empty because the emptiness is not in your wallet. It is in your soul. You have also been caught in the trap of two extremes, hoarding and reckless spending. And both come from the same root, a deep-seated distrust in my provision. The hoarder says, if I do not hold on to everything I have, I will not have enough. God might not provide tomorrow, so I must protect myself today. The hoarder clutches so tightly that nothing can come in and nothing can go out. The hoarder's hand are closed fists, and closed fists cannot receive. The reckless spender says, money is meaningless anyway. I might as well enjoy it while I have it. Tomorrow will take care of itself, or it won't, but at least I had fun today. The reckless spender opens their hands so wide that everything falls through. Nothing is steward. Nothing is sown. Nothing is multiplied. Both are afraid. Both are disconnected from me. Both are trying to control outcomes that only I can control. Here is the truth you have been missing. Money is energy. It is a current. It is meant to flow, not to be dammed up and not to be dumped out. A river that is dammed becomes stagnant and poisonous. A river that is poured out on the ground waters nothing and disappears. But a river that flows, that receives from the source and pours out to the fields, that river brings life everywhere it goes. You are meant to be a river, not a reservoir, not a drain, a river. You receive from me. You steward what you receive. You release what I tell you to release. And in the releasing, you create space to receive more. The law of divine stewardship is simple. Everything you have is mine. Your money is not yours. It has been entrusted to you. You are a steward, not an owner. And stewards do not hoard, they manage. They invest. They sow, they give. They receive. They flow. When you truly believe that everything belongs to me, you stop clutching. You stop panicking. You stop making decisions from fear. Because if it is mine, then I am responsible for it. And I have never failed to provide for my children. The shift you need to make is from owner to steward, from gripper to flower, from I have to protect myself to my provider will never fail me. This is the law of divine stewardship. And when you live by it, the abundance flows, not because you're grasping for it, but because you're finally open to receiving it. Now I need to warn you about something that has destroyed many of my children who started seeking abundance. The adversary's greatest trick is convincing you that money alone is freedom. He whispers in your ear, if you just had more money, all your problems would be solved. If you could just catch that break, everything would be different. You don't need God. You need a bigger bank account. And then he lures you into traps. The get-rich-quick schemes. The risky investments that promise high returns but deliver only loss. The opportunities that seem too good to be true because they are. The compromises that ask you to trade your integrity for a paycheck. The shortcuts that promise wealth but deliver only spiritual exhaustion. You have been tempted by these traps. You have been drawn to the bright lights of easy money, quick success, and overnight transformation. You have been seduced by the promise of wealth without wisdom, abundance without alignment, riches without relationship. And every time you have fallen into one of these traps, you have come out poorer, not just in money, but in spirit. Because the enemy does not just want your money. He wants your soul. He wants to convince you that I am not enough, that my provision is too slow, too small, too unreliable, that you have to take matters into your own hands, even if it means compromising, even if it means cutting corners, even if it means selling pieces of yourself that you can never get back. You're standing at a crossroads right now. One path leads to the world's version of wealth, a path that looks bright but leads to darkness. The other path leads to my version of abundance, a path that requires trust, patience, and alignment, but leads to life. The choice is yours. I will not force you, but I am warning you. The world's wealth comes with chains. It comes with anxiety. It comes with isolation. It comes with the constant fear of losing what you have gained. It comes with the hollow emptiness of realizing that you got what you wanted, and it was not what you needed. My abundance comes with peace. It comes with purpose. It comes with the deep satisfaction of knowing that you are aligned with your calling, that your resources are serving your purpose, and that you are a steward, not a slave, of what you have been given. If you refuse to become a sacrifice for temporary gain, if you are willing to trust my timing, my provision, and my way, then ensure you are subscribed. In the coming season of shaking, the world's systems will tremble. The false promises will be exposed. The traps will be revealed. And in that season, I will be here, in this voice, in these words, to keep your lamp lit and your path clear. The journey ahead requires constant guidance. You cannot navigate it alone. You need an anchor. You need a voice that cuts through the noise. Stay connected. Subscribe now. Let me guide you past the traps and into the abundance that does not fade. Now I want to show you the secret that the wealthy of the world do not know. The secret that changes everything. Wealth follows purpose, not the other way around. You have been trying to get rich so that you can do what you're called to do. You have been saying, when I have enough money, then I will help people. Then I will start that business. Then I will pursue that dream. Then I will give generously. But you have it backwards. Purpose comes first. And when you align with your purpose, the resources follow, not because you chase them, but because they are attracted to the clarity of your calling. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that people who are truly passionate about their purpose, not just their job, but their calling, seem to attract opportunities? They do not struggle to find work. They do not beg for clients. They do not scrape for survival. They are so aligned with what they were made to do that the resources naturally flow toward them. This is not magic. This is the law of divine alignment. When you're doing what you were made to do, when your daily labor is an expression of your God-given purpose, you are operating in your design. And when you operate in your design, everything works more efficiently. You're not fighting against your nature. You're not forcing yourself to do things that drain you. You're flowing. And when you flow, abundance flows with you. You're not meant to serve money. Money is meant to serve your purpose. The world teaches you to chase money, to take any job that pays, regardless of whether it aligns with your soul, to sacrifice your passion on the altar of paycheck, to trade your calling for salary. But I'm telling you, that is the path to exhaustion. That is the path to burnout. That is the path to waking up at 50 years old, wondering where your life went and why you feel so empty. I did not design you to spend your life doing things that do not matter to you. I designed you with specific gifts, specific passions, specific callings. And when you ignore those callings, you're not just harming yourself. You are withholding your gift from the world. The world needs what only you can offer. And when you offer it, when you step into your purpose and start serving from your gifting, the resources will come. Not because you're chasing them, but because you are aligned. The shift you need to make is from survival mode to stewardship mode. Survival mode is reactive. You wake up and ask, what do I have to do today to keep from drowning? You make decisions from fear. You take whatever comes, regardless of whether it fits your calling. Stewardship mode is proactive. You wake up and ask, what is mine to do today? How can I serve from my gifts? How can I align with my purpose? You make decisions from faith. You say no to things that are not yours, even if they pay. You say yes to your calling, even if the path is not yet clear. Stewardship mode requires trust. It requires believing that I will provide for you as you do what you were made to do. It requires letting go of the need for certainty and embracing the adventure of alignment. But it is the only path to true abundance. Not just financial abundance, though that will come, but the deep, soul-level abundance of knowing that you are doing what you were made to do. Stop chasing money. Start pursuing purpose. And watch how the resources follow. And now, my child, we come to the final thing. The activation. the prayer that breaks the chains and opens the gates. I want you to close your eyes, just for a moment. Let the distractions fall away. Let the noise fade. Let the fears quiet. I'm going to pray over you. Not a formal prayer, but a deep, intimate blessing over every part of your financial life. Father, I lift up my child right now, the one who has been struggling in the cycle of lack, the one who has been trying so hard for so long, with so little to show for it. I break the generational curse of poverty that has been passed down through their bloodline. The patterns of lack, the thinking of scarcity, the fear of never enough, I break them now. In the name above every name, I sever the cord. I heal the wounds that taught them they were not worthy of abundance. The words spoken over them, the experiences that shaped their fear, the shame that has blocked their flow. I heal all. I restore what the locusts have stolen, the years of struggle, the missed opportunities, the resources that were taken. I am returning it all, with interest, with multiplication, with overflow. I open the windows of heaven over their finances. Not a trickle, a flood, provision that surprises them, resources they did not earn, doors they did not knock on, favor they did not manufacture. I align them with their purpose. Show them what they were made to do. Open the doors that need to open. Close the doors that would lead them astray. Let their daily labor be an expression of their calling. I give them peace, the deep, unshakable peace of knowing that they are provided for, that they do not have to fear, that they do not have to hoard, that they do not have to scramble. I make them a steward, not a slave, a river, not a reservoir, a conduit of blessing, not a container of fear. And I seal this prayer with my promise. I will never leave them. I will never fail them. I will provide for them, not always in the way they expect, but always in the way they need. Amen. Now, my child, the prayer is spoken. The chains are broken. The gates are open. But there is one more thing I need you to do. One more act of faith that seals a shift. I need you to declare your readiness. I need you to speak, not just in your heart, but out loud, that you're open to receive the abundance I am releasing. Close your eyes again. Take a deep breath and say these words after me. I'm no longer the one who grovels. I am a steward of the kingdom. Now say this. I release all fear of lack. I open my hands to receive. Now say this. The abundance of the universe flows through me because I am aligned with my purpose and connected to my source. Now, if your heart is ready to accept this shift, if you are ready to stop surviving and start thriving, to stop grasping and start receiving, to stop fearing and start trusting, then go to the comments. Type these words. I am open to receive the divine abundance. Type it now. Not for me, for you. Each time you declare this, you are clearing the path for the blessing to manifest. You are telling the enemy that his lies no longer hold power. You are telling the universe that you are ready. I am open to receive the divine abundance. Type it now. Let this be your testimony. Let this be the turning point. The day you stopped being a victim of lack and started being a steward of abundance. And then share this message. Send it to someone who is still trapped in the cycle. Someone who needs to hear that they are not cursed. Someone who needs to know that there is a way out. Be the messenger. Be the light. Be the testimony that someone else needs to see. I am with you. Always. Now go. Breathe. Receive. Amen. I have spoken. Subscribe now to stay connected to this voice. Type your declaration. I am open to receive the divine abundance. Share this message with someone who needs to break their chains and step into the abundance, not as you were, but as you are becoming.